Maria hadn't had a truly sweet cup of tea in over 15 years. Ever since her type 2 diabetes diagnosis at age 62, she avoided anything that reminded her of sugar, even the natural kind. If it tasted too good, she used to say, it probably wasn't good for me. Now 77, Maria had grown used to the routine: lukewarm teas, bland food, and her twice-daily metformin. She never complained, but deep down, she missed the small joys, the warmth of something naturally sweet in the afternoon, or a comforting sip before bed that didn't feel like medicine. One afternoon, while visiting her niece, Maria was offered a tea she'd never heard of. It smelled sweet, almost like cinnamon and vanilla, and she was skeptical. But with a little encouragement, she took a sip. To her surprise, it didn't spike her blood sugar. In fact, after a week of drinking this and another naturally sweet herbal tea, her morning glucose readings were consistently lower, and she felt lighter, calmer, even hopeful. Maria's story isn't unique. I've seen this countless times in my 25 years of working with seniors managing diabetes. I'm Dr. Jonathan. For the past 25 years, I've walked alongside thousands of older adults living with diabetes, listening, guiding, and learning with them. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this: sweet doesn't always mean dangerous. In today's article, I want to show you two incredibly sweet-tasting teas that don't just taste good, they do good. Backed by science, supported by stories like Maria's, and simple enough to brew in your own kitchen, these teas might just become your new best habit. So if you've ever missed the joy of sweetness but feared the consequences, keep reading. Because nature has a few gentle surprises waiting for you. Most people with diabetes are taught one thing early on: avoid anything sweet. And for good reason. Added sugars and syrups lurk in places we'd never expect: bottled teas, juices labeled natural, and even so-called herbal drinks. Over time, these hidden sugars quietly push blood sugar higher, chip away at insulin sensitivity, and leave you wondering why your numbers aren't improving. But here's the part no one talks about enough. Not all sweetness is created equal. There's a world of difference between a tea that's sweetened and a tea that's naturally sweet. And when you're over 60 and managing diabetes, understanding that difference can change everything. You see, many herbs contain natural compounds that taste sweet, but don't behave like sugar in your body. In fact, some of them do the exact opposite. They reduce insulin resistance, fight inflammation, and stabilize blood sugar levels over time. That's the kind of sweet I want my patients to fall in love with again. Take, for example, teas made from cinnamon bark or licorice root. They carry a gentle, sweet aroma and taste that's deeply satisfying, yet they don't spike glucose. Instead, their phytochemicals work in harmony with your body, supporting better glucose control in a subtle, sustainable way. This is where many people get confused. They assume if something tastes sweet, it must raise their blood sugar. But that's a mindset built on fear, not fact. In truth, certain sweet-tasting herbs have been used for centuries in traditional medicine, not just for flavor, but for healing. And today, science is finally catching up with that wisdom. So before we dive into the two super sweet teas I recommend most, let's make one thing clear. Sweetness, when it comes from the right plant, in the right amount, can be part of a healing routine. It doesn't need to be feared, it just needs to be understood. And once you understand what these teas can do, you'll never look at sweet the same way again. Frank never thought a tea could change the way he managed his diabetes. At 68, he had already adjusted to a life of routine, a morning walk, oatmeal without honey, and his prescribed medications. But despite his best efforts, his fasting blood sugar level stubbornly hovered just above 140. "I'm doing everything right," he told me once, frustration in his voice. "But my body isn't listening." That's when I asked him a simple question. "Have you ever tried cinnamon tea?" Frank raised an eyebrow. "Cinnamon? You mean like the stuff in apple pie?" He was skeptical, and understandably so. Sweetness had become the enemy. But I explained that cinnamon, especially in its pure, unsweetened bark form, isn't just a spice. It's a powerful ally in the fight against insulin resistance. Cinnamon contains an active compound called cinnamaldehyde, known to improve glucose metabolism. It mimics the effects of insulin, allowing more sugar to move from the bloodstream into cells, especially helpful for those with type 2 diabetes. In one randomized controlled study, adults with type 2 diabetes who consumed 1 to 6 grams of cinnamon daily saw significant reductions in fasting blood sugar, triglycerides, and LDL cholesterol, all without changing their diet or exercise habits. Frank decided to give it a try. Each morning, he steeped a stick of Ceylon cinnamon, not the more common cassia variety, in boiling water for 10 minutes, then let it cool. No sugar, no honey. Just warm, naturally sweet tea with a hint of spice. By week 3, his fasting blood sugar had dropped below 120. His energy was steadier, and the constant afternoon cravings had nearly disappeared. But more importantly, Frank felt empowered. He wasn't just managing diabetes anymore. He was actively reshaping how his body responded to it. Now, a word of caution. Cinnamon tea isn't a miracle. It's a tool, one that works best when paired with real lifestyle changes. And Ceylon cinnamon is the safer choice, especially long-term, as it contains far less coumarin, a compound that can stress the liver if consumed in high amounts. If you're curious to try it, here's a simple recipe. 1 stick of Ceylon cinnamon, 1 cup of boiling water. Steep for 10 to 15 minutes, then drink warm or chilled. No need to add sweetener. The flavor will surprise you. So if you've been craving something warm, sweet, and supportive of your health, cinnamon tea may be the perfect place to start. Barbara had been on metformin for nearly 8 years. At 71, she had learned to live with the fatigue, the digestive side effects, and the daily blood sugar checks. She was stable, but not thriving. Her A1C hovered around 7.8, and her doctor often used the word plateau. "I just feel like I've hit a wall," she told me. "I'm not getting worse, but I'm not getting better either." Barbara wasn't the kind of person to try herbal remedies. She liked things with labels and dosages, but when her daughter brought over a small packet of dried licorice root, she hesitated, and then, out of curiosity, she brewed a cup. Licorice root tea has a naturally sweet taste, almost like vanilla with a hint of anise, but without a single gram of added sugar. It's been used for centuries in traditional medicine to support digestion, soothe sore throats, and yes, regulate blood sugar. The secret lies in a compound called glycyrrhizin. In controlled doses, glycyrrhizin may help improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and support the adrenal glands, which can indirectly influence blood sugar stability. In one laboratory study, extracts from licorice root were shown to reduce blood glucose levels and enhance glucose uptake in muscle cells, acting in a way that mimics insulin. While human trials are limited, anecdotal evidence from patients like Barbara continues to surprise even the most skeptical practitioners. She began drinking 1 cup of licorice root tea every evening after dinner. Just once a day, no sweeteners, no additives. Within 4 weeks, she noticed she was sleeping better, waking up with steadier blood sugar levels, often in the low 120s rather than her usual 140 range. But here's the important part. Licorice root must be used carefully. Glycyrrhizin can raise blood pressure if consumed in excess or for too long. That's why I always recommend using deglycyrrhizinated licorice, DGL, for long-term use, or limiting regular licorice tea to no more than 2 weeks at a time. Here's how Barbara prepares it. 1 teaspoon of dried licorice root, 1 cup of boiling water, steep for 5 to 7 minutes. Strain and sip slowly after meals. Barbara now alternates licorice tea with other gentle herbal blends, but she credits those first few weeks with restoring a sense of momentum in her health. And that's the beauty of finding the right tea. not just the sweetness, but the sense that you're moving forward again. When it comes to sweet herbal teas, cinnamon and licorice root each offer unique benefits, but they serve different needs and require different care. Cinnamon tea, especially from Ceylon cinnamon, is ideal for daily use. It's gentle on the body, supports insulin sensitivity, and pairs well with morning routines. For many of my patients, it replaces that habitual cup of coffee or sugary drink without feeling like a sacrifice. It also has the added benefit of reducing inflammation and supporting heart health, a major plus for seniors. Licorice root tea, on the other hand, shines brightest when used occasionally and intentionally. Its sweetness is stronger, and its effects can be more immediate, especially for those feeling fatigued or hormonally imbalanced. But unlike cinnamon, licorice carries a caveat. Overuse can lead to elevated blood pressure and water retention due to the compound glycyrrhizin. That's why I recommend using licorice root tea for no more than 2 weeks at a time, and always under supervision if you have a history of high blood pressure or kidney issues. If you love the taste and want to enjoy it longer, look for deglycyrrhizinated licorice, DGL, which removes the problematic compound while preserving much of the herbal benefit. Another key point: these teas should never be sweetened with sugar, honey, or artificial sweeteners. Their natural flavors are meant to be savored as they are, subtly sweet, calming, and supportive. It's also important to time your tea wisely. I often suggest cinnamon tea in the morning, when blood sugar tends to spike. Its gentle effect can help ease that early rise. Licorice root tea works best after meals or in the evening, offering digestive support and blood sugar balance before bed. And remember, herbal teas are not a replacement for medication, but they can be a powerful complement. The goal is not to cure diabetes with tea, but to create small, meaningful changes that support your entire system over time. Because in the end, it's not just about what you take, it's about what you consistently choose. There's something deeply comforting about a warm cup of tea. For many of my older patients, it's more than just a drink. It's a ritual, a quiet moment in the day that belongs only to them. A pause, a breath. And when that ritual can also support better blood sugar, improved sleep, and steady energy, it becomes something truly powerful. Both cinnamon and licorice root teas offer that rare combination of pleasure and purpose. They're naturally sweet, deeply soothing, and, when used wisely, remarkably effective. They invite you to enjoy, not restrict, to nourish, not punish. What I love most is seeing the change not just in lab numbers, but in people's faces. Frank, who started every morning with his cinnamon tea, now walks with a lighter step and steadier blood sugar. Barbara, once stuck in a plateau, found a new rhythm through her evening licorice tea, and with it, a sense of forward motion again. And Maria, who once feared anything sweet, now smiles when she sips her tea, knowing it's not indulgence, it's healing. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to fear every flavor or analyze every bite. Sometimes all it takes is a cup, made with care, chosen with knowledge, and sipped with intention. So the next time you crave something sweet, don't reach for a cookie or a soft drink. Reach for a kettle, a cinnamon stick, a bit of licorice root, and give your body something it can truly work with. Because the sweetest part of managing diabetes is discovering that small choices still hold great power, and you deserve every warm, healing sip.